If this is your first time here, welcome to Diesel Dell. I film my life on the road, me, Diesel Dog, and the miles God puts under our wheels. I started recording the moment I became a trucker, capturing the way faith, movement, and sovereignty shape a woman rebuilding her world, one load at a time. This channel is my living archive, a place where my children can come one day to see how I walked, what I saw, what I felt, and how I kept choosing to believe. Every sunrise, every storm, every quiet moment by my little dog pond is a part of the legacy I'm building. Now, walk with me into the backstory of where this journey truly began. I didn't start this channel because I'm the greatest trucker or because I think that my life is extraordinary. I started it because the Lord taught us to multiply the talents He places in our hands. I refuse to bury what He gave me. I'm documenting my road life to glorify Him, to increase what He entrusted to me, and to leave to my children a living record of how I walked, believed, endured, and created in a world that often feels broken. One day, when they crave connection and wisdom, they'll have this: my movement, my faith, my reasoning, my eyes on the horizon. This channel is my offering to God, to my children, and to the legacy I'm building with every mile. Mine is the walking out through faith of my lived experience of the parable of the talents, wherever it may lead. I'm putting it out here in physical form for all the world, but especially my children, to see, to let my light so shine. Walk with me now through the backstory of where my journey as a mother began. In the beginning, before names were spoken and before history learned to carve itself into stone, there was only the quiet hum of a world trying to remember what it was meant to become. A world suspended between creation and collapse, waiting for someone brave enough to shape its destiny. Long before your main character enters the frame, the land itself was already wounded. Kingdoms rose, not from triumph, but from the ashes of forgotten wars. Ancient powers, once worshipped, then feared, were sealed away by those who understood that victory sometimes demands sacrifice far greater than life. But time is a patient thief. As centuries passed, the seals weakened. The old magic began whispering again, threading itself through storms, shadows, and the hearts of those who dared to listen. And somewhere in the quiet corners of the world, a prophecy, dismissed as myth, started to awaken. It spoke of a wanderer, someone who would not be born into greatness, but forged by the weight of a world on the brink. Someone who would rise not because fate demanded it, but because no one else would. And now, as the sky darkens and the ground trembles, with the return of what was once buried, the wanderer steps forward. Not a hero, not yet. Just a soul caught between the ruins of yesterday and the fire of tomorrow. This is where the story truly begins. Before the wanderer ever took their first step into legend, the world itself had already begun to fracture. The old kingdoms, once bound together by honor, had splintered into rival territories. Each believed they alone were chosen to inherit the remnants of the ancient power buried beneath the earth. Their greed carved scars across the land, scars that never healed. But deeper still, beneath forgotten catacombs and collapsed temples, something older than the kingdoms stirred. It was not evil, not in the way mortals understood. It was balance, awakened after centuries of silence, seeking to reclaim what had been stolen from the natural order. The first signs were subtle. Animals migrating in patterns unseen for generations, storms forming without wind, shadows bending in directions no light touched. And then came the echo fall, a night when the sky cracked open with a sound like 1,000 voices crying out at once. Every kingdom felt it, every ruler feared it, and every prophecy that had been dismissed as superstition suddenly became a warning no one could ignore. The wanderer felt it too, not as a sound, but as a pull, a quiet, undeniable tug at the edge of their soul, guiding them toward a destiny they never asked for. They were not royalty, not a warrior, not a chosen one, just someone who had lost too much to keep running from the world's unraveling. And so, with nothing left but a stubborn heartbeat and a past full of ghosts, the wanderers stepped into the unknown, towards the ruins, toward the rising storm, toward the truth buried beneath centuries of silence. Because sometimes the greatest stories don't begin with heroes. They begin with ordinary people who refuse to let the world burn. But every wanderer's story reaches a moment of turning, a moment when the world's unraveling meets the quiet resolve inside a single human heart, a moment when the ordinary becomes the vessel for something greater. The wanderer didn't know what waited beyond the ruins or the rising storm. They didn't know what battles would demand their strength or what losses would carve their character. They only knew one truth. The road ahead was calling, and answering that call was the only way forward. And so they walked, step by step, mile by mile, through fear, through faith, through the long echo of everything they had survived. They walked because the world needed someone willing to move. They walked because standing still was another kind of surrender. They walked because sometimes the only way to keep the darkness from spreading is to carry a light into it. That wanderer is every one of us who has ever rebuilt a life from ashes. Every one of us who has taken the long road because the short one wasn't honest. Every one of us who has ever chosen faith over fear, motion over collapse, sovereignty over surrender. And in my own way, behind the wheel, with Diesel Dog at my side and the miles God put under us, I've become a wanderer too. Not a hero, not a legend, just a woman refusing to let her world burn. A woman choosing to walk out her calling one load at a time. If you've felt something in this story, if you want to know the wanderer's path and how it becomes the road I'm driving today, if you want to see how faith, trucking, loss, legacy, and sovereignty weave together into the life of Diesel Dell, then come back for the next chapter. This is only the beginning.